Welcome to Love, Life, and Marriage with The Woods. I am Saiko.
And I'm Sharon.
And welcome to our channel. Please do the following. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell at the bottom of the video. That way when we go live or post a video or any other content, you'll be one of the very few ones and first ones to view it. Also, if you'd like to support the ministry financially, you can do so through PayPal or Cash App. PayPal, SaikoWoods@yahoo.com, or Cash App, $SaikoWoods. If you'd like to support the ministry through merchandise, which is through the BCV, you can do that through the Teespring link, also located in the description at the bottom of the video. Ms. Woods, we are on part 2, you said, of part 2? Mm-hmm. Thank you. Part 2 of 10 ways husbands can what?
Dishonor
their wives. And we are going to continue where we left off on last time. But before we do that, I want to just basically say, those of you may be watching this video or those who have been affected by the hurricane in Louisiana, Hurricane Ida, which is a category 4, some may say 5. Our thoughts and prayers are with you all. We know the struggle and also the frustration and some even the fear that can be involved with having to evacuate and having to relocate and move and do all those things. And so just living in
Facebook, we have a few Facebook
yes, we do
friends that live there.
Have a few Facebook friends that have moved, live there. Some have left from hurricane. What was the major one they had? We had Rita.
Oh, they had
Rita.
Katrina.
Yeah, Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
Hurricane Katrina. Matter of fact, I think it marks the 16th anniversary of that tragic event. But again, prayers to those of you who are affected by that. And also, we want to give our prayers and thoughts to those service members, all 13 families,
yes,
who have been, whose lives have tragically changed forever. And we're just going to just shoot straight through a godless administration. Mm-hmm. A senseless murder, senseless death. These people served our country. These young people, 20 years old, 20 plus years old, and now their lives have been taken through decisions of this administration, of this presidency that did not have to happen. But we want to pray and ask God's comfort and blessings and grace to be upon those whose lives have been affected by that as well. So we want to continue on with the series, as my wife had mentioned, 10 ways husbands can dishonor their wives. And so we covered, you said 2? Mm-hmm. What was the first 2 that we covered?
To be immoral, mm-hmm, and to be inflicting.
All right, to be immoral, to be inflicting. So what was immoral described as?
It was described as to engage in all forms of sexual activity against your wife.
Okay, and number 2 was be inflicting, which was to what?
To cause pain, inflict harm, verbally, emotionally, or physically on your wife.
Right. And so now we're going to cover number 3. We're going to try to cover as many as we can, but we're going to cover number 3, which is be insensitive. One of the 10 ways, husbands, you can dishonor your wife is by being insensitive. Okay, not being sensitive, but being insensitive, meaning this, to refuse to sympathize or understand your wife's feelings. There are some men that basically don't care about what their wife thinks or how they feel regarding what is in their marriage, what is in their life, what is going on around them, things of that nature. And so if you're that kind of man, then this verse is for you. In 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. Peter writes to believers, writes to Christians, and tells Christian men how they are to treat their wives. And I know a lot of the women know this verse. And so I'm going to read it just in case you men may have forgotten it or have not heard it. In verse 7, it says in 1 Peter 3, you husbands likewise live with your wives in an understanding way, as with a weaker vessel, since she is a woman, and grant her honor as a fellow heir of the grace of life. And here's the reason why, man, so that your prayers may not be hindered. Your wives are the prayer plumb line to God hearing and let alone answering your prayer. So if you are insensitive, if you are, lackadaisical, if you don't really care, if you don't consider your wife's input, if you don't consider your wife's feelings when you make decisions, and knowing that those decisions affect not just your wife, but if you have children, affects your family, affects your household. And there are a lot of things that your wife sees or that our wives see that we don't see. That's why they're called our helpmeet. They're able to see some things that they may want to bring to our attention, but if you are insensitive, or if you're like Nabal, who was married to Abigail, he was an insensitive man. And not only was he an insensitive man, the Bible calls him a fool. That's what his name means. It means a fool. And so when we are refusing to consider our wives' input, consider our wives' feelings, we're acting foolish. We're being insensitive. What you wanted to add to that?
Well, I was going to ask you if you can think of any practical things or times where you had to be sensitive to me, that you had to consider my feelings or, empathize or sympathize with me in a way.
I know, like, with your schedule, having to remember that you're not just, a wife or a mother, but you also work outside the home. So I know that those are things that when you were, staying at home, there were more things you had opportunities to do. So if there were deadlines or things that needed to be done, I had to consider that and not put these, I'm not necessarily say unrealistic demands, or just bottom line, give you some things to do and not consider, expectations, but not consider the fact that, hey, need to have some time for her to do this, do that, and or maybe I can do it. I think those are some things as well. I'll mention another thing. So like washing clothes. How long have I been washing my own clothes now?
A while now, probably since shortly after you started working there, huh?
Yeah, but so the other reason why that was is because again, she had a lot of things to do, and so I don't have a problem cleaning up. I don't have a problem cleaning up. I have a problem washing my own clothes.
He does, yeah. He's really good at that.
And so, but I also like my daughters to help me, fold my clothes. But they'll try to run anytime it's time for have my clothes folded. And one of them is kind of like looking at me side eye behind the cameras here. Her name is Nyla, by the way. Yeah, she works for the Lord's Chicken. But anyway, but those are some things. One of the areas was just with household chores or duties, and then jokingly, before we recorded this video, my daughter Nyla wanted a slice of cake, and she's upstairs, I'm downstairs, and so she kept calling me and made this old annoying sound, nanny. I'm like, what? I want some cake. I'm like, okay, where your mom at? She's upstairs. I'm upstairs with her. And I said, fine. I said, you got to wait till I finish because I'm trying to, prepare for the video and then transfer some files to my computer from my phone and all this other kind of stuff in preparation for our recordings that we do, right? So I come upstairs, give her the cake, and I forgot what I said. Pretty sure my wife's gonna tell you what I said. But she said to me, my wife did, "Is something wrong with you serving your children sometimes too, And I said, first of all, I serve, okay? I serve all the time. She's like, well, we ain't talking about work. Okay, you serve right. I said, well, I don't just serve when I just go to work. I also serve them when I have to pick them up from work, when I'm on my way home from work. I said, I do that as well too. I couldn't remember anything else I do, but I was in the moment. So, but so those things like that, just, sometimes the little things, getting a slice of cake for them or whatever little things they may want. Even though I could say, hey, why don't you just go get the cake, Sharon? But that would have been inconsiderate because I'm already downstairs in the kitchen and she's already upstairs relaxing and sitting on this fine, comfortable sofa, as you can see, right? So I just wanted to be considerate of that. Is that a good one?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Excellent example.
Thank you. So being insensitive is one of the ways you can dishonor your wife. Number 4 is be inconsiderate. Wow. Be inconsiderate. Almost the same, but here's the difference. Be inconsiderate. Put your needs and agenda above hers and never compromise. So being insensitive is not considering how a person feels, how your wife feels. Being inconsiderate is always thinking about what you want, never thinking about what your wife wants, never willing to compromise, never willing to lay aside your desires for the sake of your wife and or your wife and your family. If you are an inconsiderate man, if you are an inconsiderate husband, you are not honoring your wife. And I'm going to tell you, everyone has a limit. Everyone has a limit. Some people's limits are longer than others. Others are not. Some women's limits are short fused, like that song from the infamous R. Kelly, who's still in prison, said, when a woman is fed up, there ain't nothing you can do about it. Ain't nothing you can do about it. When she had it up to here, when she had it up to her weave on you disrespecting her, being considerate of her, being insensitive of her, God knows, inflicting pain upon her in any kind of way, in any of those things, being immoral, that woman has had it up to here. And then there's nothing you can do. You can try to say, I'm sorry. You can try to even turn around and make things right. But when you are consistently doing these things, consistently dishonoring your spouse, dishonoring your wife, these are the things that's going to have indelible imprints and marks on their psyche, on their mind, on their heart, on their emotions. You can break a woman just by not listening to them, not considering how they feel. And then when they go out or when they try to have someone else just to hear what they have to say, now they're going outside of their home. They're going to other people. God knows, into another relationship that is not their own marriage. You're setting yourself up for failure, when you do that. So be inconsiderate. Put your needs and your agenda, what you want, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, your desires. You always want her to pursue your goals, but you're not pursuing her goals. Man, when was the last time you asked your wife, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? I mean, are you satisfied and happy with what you're doing? How can I help you? How can I make your life, better? And I'm not just saying these things because I'm sitting here talking to you. I ask these questions to Sharon all the time.
Yes,
I want to know, what's going on in her world. And I mean, we have goals. We have goals as a couple. We also have individual goals, but I want to make sure that I can do whatever I can to make sure her individual goals are my goals as a family and as a couple, as a team, because that's really what it's about. Because if she's not good, if she's not well, if she's not at her best and at her peak, then it's going to affect me and vice versa. But that consideration goes a long way. Just asking how was your day, asking what's going on, what are you thinking? Now be ready for those answers, man, because they're very detailed. I mean, my wife can give you a chronological from Matthew to Revelation of how her day has gone. And we just want the summation. We just want to know, hey, just tell me, how was your day? She'll ask me, how's your day? My day was good. Ask her, how's her day? From the time that we left to go to work, from the time that she's at work, from the time that she's at work on her break, she's gonna let me know what's going on with that. From the time she's off for her break. And then here's what she also does.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
Yeah, here's what she also does. As soon as she gets off work, she'll call me. Now, thank you, but there's sometimes I'd rather not talk right now because I'm in the middle of listening to a podcast or something. So at 4:08, I'm like, oh, okay. Let me go ahead and
Really?
call. Yeah, I mean, because Sharon, come on now. I be listening to this stuff.
Now see.
I be listening to this stuff, Sharon. Come on now.
But look, okay, see. But
I would tell you,
wait.
Just text me or just call me when you get home or I'll say, hey, don't come right now. I'll give you a call back. Yeah,
you told me that just the other day. When was that, Friday?
Yeah, because I was in the middle listening to Mark.
Right,
in.
and I said, okay,
and he was
gonna
on
call
it,
him.
and I was like, oh man, she's gonna call. I know
so he texted me beforehand.
Yeah, so let me go and give her a preemptive
I didn't get a chance to call him.
Yep, I sure did.
But what you did before that was you told me, you said, dear, you don't have to call me on your lunch break all the time. I mean, you can do something. You can listen to something or watch something.
Did say that.
So I stopped calling him on my lunch break. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll just do something else then.
But she doesn't, because then she's.
I don't call you all the time on my lunch break.
You call me enough.
I do not call you on my lunch break though.
No, I'm not saying you don't. I'm not telling you.
Not every day though.
No,
like I used to.
Yeah. It was like, wow. Okay.
You know what? You show right.
No, I'm just saying. But at least I'm considerate of it. I'm like, hey.
I thought you wanted to know when
No.
I'm in the car or when I'm on my way home.
No, that's one thing. You can even send me a text message on that.
Okay.
Because here's another thing. Hold on. Here's another thing that she does. We're on the phone. All right, then I'm gonna let you go. Because she ain't saying nothing. She'll call me to talk, and then, okay, after I get done saying what I need to say, all you hear is air, and the road and the tires just basically just rolling over each other. I mean, that's all you hear. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna let you go. Oh, all right, I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you later too. Goodbye. That kind of thing. Do you not do that?
True.
Thank you very much. And I'm not lying on her. I don't have to lie about that. But we were on this whole considerate thing. Mm-hmm. That's what was on? Okay, yeah. Be inconsiderate. Put your needs and agenda above hers. Now, it'd be one thing if I didn't care about what you felt or how your day went. Mm-hmm. I don't do that. I'm always asking how your day goes. Mm-hmm. Do I not?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just saying. I want everybody to think, you don't never ask. No, I do. I'm always asking how our day goes. All the time.
I'll tell you about my customers and...
Yep, all the time. Interesting customers she has.
Yeah.
Interesting customers she has. She some very interesting customers. Then that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, so we dealt with be insensitive, be inconsiderate. Mm-hmm. Then number 5 is what?
Inconsistent.
Be inconsistent. Okay, go ahead.
That is one thing you are not.
Okay, well, let's talk about it. Be inconsistent. What does that mean? What's the definition of that we describe here?
Become unreliable and unstable. Never finish what you start.
Never finish what you start.
That is not you.
Okay, be unreliable, be unstable. All right, Proverbs 25:19. Like a bad tooth and an unsteady foot is confidence in a faithless man in time of trouble. So, what are some ways that I am consistent in? That I'm predictable.
Predictable?
Yeah.
Well, the first thing is, I know you're gonna get up and go to work.
Okay.
So you're not gonna just lay around or call in and like, I don't feel like going to work today.
I only called it one time. That's when I had no drawers. She ain't washed the drawers.
Why you have to bring that up? We've already discussed that.
We did that.
Yeah, we discussed that.
I thought it tied in.
Ago.
Yeah, I thought it tied into the.
No, it does not.
Well, you say I ain't never called in for work. I just had to recall that I had to call in from work one time because I had no clean drawers because you forgot to wash them. I don't know how you forget to wash drawers that's piled up in dirty clothes, but that was years ago when we first got married. I think year number 1.
It was year 2.
Yeah. See, I was like trying to give her she's like 2 years of the game. She was like, okay, I ain't washing these drawers. Okay. Anyway,
I was working too, though.
Yes, you were working, but we didn't have any children, so I should have had my drawers. There was no kids.
True.
So I should have had clean drawers.
Truld. You're right.
Should have had drawers.
Can we move on?
All right. So, be inconsistent.
Yes. So
you hate inconsistency.
Yes,
which is funny
I do.
To me.
Because if you're unreliable, it's like I can't count on you to do anything, or either you promise to do something and don't do it. So, man, if you tell your wife you're going to do something, actually do it. Carry through, follow through, and actually do what you said you're going to do. And do it when you said you was going to do it.
And can I add one more thing? Do it right.
Yes.
Please do it. Like, okay, man. If your wife is asking you to clean up the kitchen, don't be trifling with it. Don't be trifling. Don't wash the dishes and then leave the counter wet. Don't do that. Dry the counter off. Don't wash the dishes and half wash it and it ain't squeaky clean. Okay. Listen. I know when something is clean.
Yes.
I know when glasses is clean. I know when plates are clean. I know when something's clean. You get that squeaky that sound? You got that? Well, you get that. That ain't clean. You still got grease on that bowl. You still got grease on those plates. Nobody want to get off of that. So do it right the first time, because then all you're gonna do is have her mad. Then she's gonna be fussing. I can't depend on him for nothing. And she's just gonna be, in the kitchen banging stuff. So just do it right the first time, okay? That way you don't have to worry about that. So, but if you especially if you're offering to do something, do it right, and I guarantee you she's gonna appreciate it. But when she stopped asking you to do stuff for her, that's a problem.
Yep.
If she has to call to have somebody fix something that you should be fixing, and I'm talking about where you said you were going to fix it, but you keep giving excuses, but she knows that you can do it yourself, but you just don't want to do it, then you can't get mad when, you know, somebody else is doing it.
Yep.
Now it's going to cost you money, unnecessarily so. So be consistent. Be predictable in the basic things. Okay.
Yep.
Be predictable. I tell men all the time. Your wife should know that you are predictable in two things: in work and in providing for that family. She should know that. She should know that when you are gone, you're going to work. She should know when you are at home, you are there to take care of her and your family. She should know that. She doesn't have to worry about what time is he coming home. Is he coming home?
Right.
Never. She should know that because you have a consistent pattern of faithfulness and a consistent pattern of disciplines that go a long way. And you're teaching that to your children, either positively or negatively as well.
Yep.
All right. So we've covered be insensitive. Number 3. Number 4, be inconsiderate. Number 5, be inconsistent.
We didn't touch on unstable. I think we need to touch on unstable.
Unstable? I thought I did.
No, we talked about being unreliable.
Okay, unreliable, unstable. Okay.
Unstable.
Emotionally unstable.
Emotionally unstable. Financially unstable. Biblically unstable.
Okay, so
spiritually rather.
Okay.
Unstable.
So financially unstable, where your wife can't trust you to manage the money. That's not good. Somebody needs to be stable. Somebody needs to be faithful and trustworthy.
One of y'all need to handle it.
Okay, but if you are the man and you can't be trusted to pay bills, or you can't even be trusted to bring your check home, or have her have access to your check, that's a problem. And you need to see your church for that, or somebody that's going to hold you accountable for that. Mentally unstable, your wife should not have to wonder what kind of mood you're going to be in when you get up or when you come home. Now, we all have our days, but that should be a moment, not a manner and pattern of life. Okay? And not only that, your children should not have to worry about if my dad isn't going to be arguing or be fussing or all that kind of stuff. Nobody wants to live in a house like that. Okay? Nobody, no woman wants to live in a house like that. Your children don't want to live in a house like that where they're worrying about what kind of person is going to walk through that door at the end of the day.
Yep.
So you need to have consistency, you need to have reliability, you need to have stability in your life, but it starts in your understanding of who God is, because God is not unstable with us. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. So there should be an attitude and a disposition regarding you as the head, because you are leading that household. And you don't want your household to live in fear. Fear of what you're going to say, fear of you flying off the handle, fear of your wife being told off, and fear of the household just having this negative atmosphere and negative spirit going on in the house because you don't know how to control your own soul. And actually, Proverbs 14:29, he who was slow to anger has great understanding, but he who is quick-tempered exalts folly. Unstable. One minute you're happy, next minute you're angry, or you just basically just up and down like a roller coaster. Nobody wants to live with that. Nobody wants to live like that.
Yep.
Did I cover that?
Yep.
Anything else you want to add on that?
Nope.
Okay, let's go to number 6.
I don't think we have time.
We don't have time. Okay, so then we're gonna stop here at number 5.
Go to part 3.
In part 3, we'll do number 6. We'll tell you what that is when we do part 3.
Yeah.
And so my wife
that means you got to tune in to find out.
That's right. You got to tune in to find out. So again, if you like this video, please share it. Please subscribe to the videos that we have already posted and to this channel as well. We do appreciate that. Also, the Teespring link below. Payment options if you want to support the ministry financially also are listed below. If you'd like to contact us, our email information is also listed below at the bottom of the screen. So we thank you for your time. We definitely appreciate it. And until next time, bye.